And as I was thinking about friendship, my mind went to the book of Ruth. If you're reading the Bible through with us, you know, in less than a month, we'll be halfway through our Bible this year. Isn't that great? And so we've just read through the book of Ruth, and I thought about the loyal friendship that we see between Naomi and Ruth. And, you know, Aristotle said this. He said, without friends, no one would choose to live, though he had all other goods. He was a pretty smart guy too, I hear. Without friends, no one would choose to live even with all the other goods. And as I'm thinking about Ruth and Naomi's story, if you're not familiar with that story, Naomi had traveled into a foreign country with her husband because Israel was in famine. And while she was there, she had 2 sons. They married. And then her husband and her 2 sons died. Naomi is left a widow with 2 other widows in her household, 3 single women. And then Naomi hears that there's food in Israel again, and she makes a decision, I'm going to go back to my home country. And so she tells her daughter-in-laws and says, you know, you girls stay here. I'm too old. I have no more husbands in my womb to give you. You stay here. And she starts back. They say, no, we're going with you. And she turns around again and says, no, stay here. I have nothing to give you. And one turns back, and that's where we're going to pick up the story in Ruth chapter 1 and verse 15, if you want to look at that with me on the screen. Look, said Naomi, your sister-in-law is going back to her people and her gods. Go back with her. But Ruth replied, don't urge me to leave you or turn back with you. Where you go, I will go. And where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord deal with me, be it ever so severely, if even death separates you and me. When Naomi realized that Ruth was determined to go with her, she stopped urging her. Man, is that loyalty? Is that friendship? She said, I am sticking with you. You have been a friend to me. You've been more than a mother-in-law. You've been a friend, and I am sticking with you. That's loyalty. And that's what makes strong bonds and strong friendship. The other thing I want you to see in that is, if you're a good friend, you have equity with your friends. And Naomi had been that good friend to Ruth. And Ruth says to her, because of our relationship, your God will be my God. And that's the kind of leverage you have if you're a good friend with your neighbors and your friends. It's up to us to speak up and invite folks to church and invite them to come and know our God. And we have that leverage when we're a real friend because people begin to see your life. Many of you could probably tell, like I can, that there are people that just didn't know about me. They weren't so sure about my love for the Lord and what that all looked like, if I was one of these kooks or not. But over time, they've seen my life, they've enjoyed my friendship, and over time, I've had the ability to really speak into their life about my God. And they listen where at one time they were skeptical. And this is what happened between Naomi and Ruth. If you're going to be a good friend, you have to be a loyal friend. As far as the law of reciprocity goes, probably in no other area of our life does that law work as more telling than the area of friendship. In other words, what you give, you receive back. Proverbs 18 says it this way. It says, he that hath friends must show himself friendly.